Hey, Tammy and Annalisa here.
Welcome here, you guys. We're so excited you're going to watch our webinar, but first, we really want you to listen to this clip from Oprah. It's
Check
good.
it out. Check it out.
Everyone in the world who is successful, what would you say is the one common characteristic that you find gets people to where they want to go?
The most important question is, the people get to where they want to go because they know where they want to go.
Oh, wow.
Most people don't know where they want to go. A lot of people are going and being driven by what they think they should do,
Right.
what other people say they should do, what they have carried in their mind for a long time they should do. But the most important question you could ever ask yourself is, what do I really want?
Wow.
And the answer to that, once you can establish for yourself what the answer to that is, and have everything you do, every choice you make, move you in the direction of what you say your vision is.
Right.
Yeah. And when you do that, the forces of life rise up to meet you. The reason why most people have such chaotic lives is because they're living in chaos in their head. And as soon as you get clear, it clears up.
We're sisters, Tammy and Annalisa. We're so excited to have you here on this webinar. I'm going to tell you why we started with that video. Well, it's powerful. That is powerful. And it was so funny because after creating this course, I sent it to Annalisa and then she sent it back to me, which is so funny. So we both found it after, which was just kind of neat, right? You know how sometimes notice when you're doing something, everything you see just pertains to what you're doing.
Exactly. It spoke to both of us and it basically summed up everything we're going to say. So we're done. Oprah said it best.
She did. She said it great. So many times, I don't know, as we age, people forget about this, asking themselves, where do I want my life to go? Yeah. I asked a really good friend the other day, what does your dream life look like? And she didn't know. She's like, I don't really think about it. And I was like, what? I think about that every single day. I'm visioning, what do I want my life to look like? What would be my perfect life? And here's the thing, you guys, there's so much noise. Yeah. There is so many people telling you, wanting you, whether it's on social media, whether it's friends, whether it's family, what's acceptable, what's not, what you can achieve, what you can't achieve. I noticed it actually the other day with my daughters. One of my daughters is moving and she was telling someone that and they were like, it's so expensive, it's so this, it's so that. And I was just listening to the conversation from the side and I talked to my daughter about it afterwards and I said, how are you handling the negativity when you tell people your dreams and when they go outside of the box? And she just said, I'm okay because I'm following what God wants. And, you know, and I'm talking a lot here, but another thing that I was telling my girls yesterday was this makes me cry because it's so powerful and we're so often influenced by what other people think. I think that's why I'm crying, because it's just such a hard battle. It's a daily battle. And someone that is further along than you when it comes to success in any way will not be the person writing negative comments or thinking negative things toward you. Mm-hmm. It's going to be people that are not goal-driven, that aren't excited about life. So we need to stop caring about what those people think. Oh man, that's just powerful for me. It's like a battle. It's an onward battle. And when we talk about, like, who are you letting speak into your life? During this course, we are asking you to let us guide you, to cut down the noise, to really, really take a look at what you want without all that other distraction. And then really discover and unearth your giftings and your talents, and then we can show you how to get there. So let's tell you a little bit about who we are so you can understand why we developed this course and why we care so much. Lise?
So we are sisters, if you couldn't tell. I'm the baby of the family. She's stuck in the middle. And we didn't have the easiest life, if you could say that. We've had a lot of different hardships. And I think that's exactly why we have the heart and the passion and the fire under us to make our lives exactly what we want them to be, because we know it is so stinking short.
That's good.
And so this course really is everything we believe in. And when you believe in something and you're passionate about it, you can't really not share it with the world, because we see too many people just floating through life, not sure, wondering, sitting there going, I wish, or I care, like she said, too much about what other people think.
Depressed and sad. There's a lot of sadness.
There's so much going on. And so for us, it was very important that we both had alignment in our careers with what we were passionate about, what our gifts and talents and what our God-given gifts were, because we wouldn't be able to stay in a 9-to-5 job. That is not for us. And we wouldn't be able to find fulfillment. We wanted to be there for our kids. We wanted so much more. And so for us, you know, our story starts with, we grew up with 5 siblings, and you know, we had a brother and a sister pass away within 6 months of each other at ages 18 and 19. And losing our 2 siblings in such a short, traumatic way, they both died in car accidents. There was no time for goodbyes. There was no time for what ifs. There was nothing. And we had a choice at that point. And I think our family really rallied together, and we were like, we're not going to get bitter. We're not going to waste this life. We're going to use what's been given to us and make a difference. And that has translated into every bit of our being, like how we raise our kids, how we are in relationships, living hard, loving hard, doing what you love, because you cannot get time back. And it's actually a great way to live, because you cherish every moment. You're not going to get stuck doing the things you don't love. And that's what we want for others, if you could really grasp that.
And I have to add this, like, it's definitely, oh man, I'm just sensitive today. It's a really great way to live. And yes, I know that it hurts more living like this, because there's so much love, and when you love big, the pain is bigger when you lose in that way, and because you care. But I want to challenge you today that it is worth it. At the end of this life, you will never regret having given 100% in love, in friendships, in life. That I can promise you. Yep, life isn't always easy, right? You don't get to choose where you begin, but you do get to choose the path that you're on when you're an adult, which is the great news. We get to take our pain, and we can either use it for good, or we sit on it and get bitter, right? And we have really decided that we want to use every aspect of our life, and that we look at life differently and going, what can I learn out of this? And if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't be this much closer to the path that God wants me on. And we want to grow as people, and we want that for you too. And that is what this course is all about, growing as people.
Yes.
I'll share a little bit more. Like I'm going to share really, really quickly. This is some deep stuff, but I don't want to go too much into this story. But like our grandfather was a pedophile. I know that's a big word, but it's part of our lives, and it was horrible. And so we lost that whole family, obviously, because there was so much dysfunction. Then we had 2 siblings die, and how many first cousins? Tragically, like it's insane the amount of death in our family. We just had a lot of grief, a lot of loss. I went through 2 failed marriages, picked narcissistic, abusive men, because I had lots of trauma that I needed to obviously work through, because I kept picking that same type of relationship. And then financial hardships. I mean, who hasn't been through financial ups and downs, losing it all, then growing, building it back up again. And then we have relationship issues with friends and stuff like that, right? We've been burned pretty badly. And as I'm sure many of you guys have been too. And so the point is, you're not alone. This is life. Life has ups and downs. And, you know, I think we have to stop comparing and go, everybody has their hard. What do you do with that hard? And are you going to take that and become an overcomer? And I truly believe that the more shit you go through, the further you can be successful in this life. So it's actually all a gift, and the things that you can learn, and just, it's incredible. So we want to inspire you to do the same. And that is what this course is about. Our business journey, I think we should share a little bit about our business journey. I think that might be interesting.
Yeah, so we're both entrepreneurs. You know, you started a business very young. She has started the first fitness center in our community. You have your own things you could share. I started a business, my own salon. We loved being entrepreneurs, and you still continue to run multiple businesses. I have one in my home. Great success. But here's the thing. I'll tell you the reason why. We knew we didn't want to work for anybody. We knew we didn't want the 9 to 5. We wanted time freedom to be there for our kids, especially with all that has gone on in our lives. We wanted to.
I was like, back then, people didn't do this. Did they?
No.
It was really outside of the box. Now people are catching on. They're going, oh, this is actually really smart, and we can make a lot of money doing this.
Exactly.
Then no one did.
So we loved having our own businesses, being our own boss, making our own hours. It was amazing. But
Yeah.
guess what? You're still trading time for money. And unless you're there in those brick and mortar businesses, it's not running without you. And that's where we exploded in the online industry in 2015. We made it to the top of our first company within 6 months. We were in the top 5 in Canada. I mean, we got a taste of what online industry can provide for your family and how life-changing it can be. And that was really where we were like, this is life-changing. Since 2015, there's many changes along the way. And I if you've ever entered this space, you've probably had highs and lows as well. We've experienced it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. But the potential that we found in this online industry, we were like, we have to help other people do this and break the mold and get freedom in their lives.
And there is a cap, because like you were saying, there's only so much of you to give. So it's like, how do you use your gifts and your talents, but multiply that, right? And we've tried different things in the network marketing industry. We have really done mostly small ticket sales up until this point, until recently. And we were very successful at that, and we loved it. We did it well. And we grew up a huge team. We grew up, I'm really proud of the team that we grew and how many people were successful on the team, and team spirit. And anyone that has ever worked with women before knows that the holding on to the pulse of that and doing that is tricky, right? It's tricky with a bunch of women. And to be, I think it's harder to be a leader as a woman personally than as a man, because a man can say something and they're like, you're such a great leader. A woman can say something, she's such a bitch. It's just so bizarre to me. And I don't quite get that, but whatever. Let's not go into all that. But yeah, we did most of our small ticket items were done with Facebook. We started doing Instagram, but really the first business was mostly Facebook. And we just would post, and because we had a pretty big following, we did have that, which we were lucky. Yeah, so I mean, I know 10,000 a month, 15,000 a month is a good income, and but here's the thing: we are always constantly wanting to grow, and we were capped. We were capped at that. We couldn't seem to bust through that, and I have to say, for me, in my life, I've gotten that far in very, very many different businesses, and always been capped there and never been able to push through that. So that is. Right, that's a block inside of me that I've got to work through, and I have. So I'm excited about that. We all have blocks. That's a whole nother course. You'll have to get that one next.
You'll have to get that one next.
Hey, if we want to make more, if we want to bust through this, we're going to have to do things differently. Do you want to talk a little bit about the high ticket sales and why did we choose that, and online courses, and we can just tell you a little bit about why we chose the path we did.
Well, I think it's very important that if something's not working or what once worked, you got to keep moving with the times. And our biggest motto is we pivot. We pivot with what's next. And, you know, small ticket items are great, but when you can sell a large ticket item and only have to sell, 2 to 3 compared to hundreds of sales, it made more sense for us. We had to look at where we were at right now in our life and what was aligning with us. And that is the biggest thing, right? And if you're not finding passion or joy, or if you're feeling stuck or blocked, you have to go to the next way. And so we were feeling some confusion in where we wanted our business to go. And you're going to keep growing, and it's going to keep changing. And, you see people jump from company to company, and you're like, why? And, we didn't want to be like that. We wanted to be focused and go, okay, which direction in our path needs to change right now? What do we need to do to align? And for us, it was... moving in a different direction in our online businesses. We have multiple businesses, not being stuck to one thing, because we learned that the hard way. And
branding ourselves, not the product.
Yes.
There's so many things. And when we were developing this course, it's been a work in progress. We've run it before, we've changed it. We're always changing it and making it better and better. And it is jam-packed. Believe me, you are going to leave a different person than you came in. But our whole question we kept asking ourselves while we were developing this: what did we need to know? What do we wish we had? What's not out there? Instead of looking and going, this person's doing this person's doing
Yes.
this person's doing this, we should do that. No, we said, let's go internal. What do we need? This is needed for if you're a network marketer that's been in the business. It doesn't matter what you're making, you need this. Whether you're a mom sitting at home, whether you're someone at your job, this could be for anybody. This isn't just for network marketers. We're gonna lead everybody in this world needs to have direction. You need purpose. I mean, think of Purpose-Driven Life. Why was that book so big? Because people are lacking purpose. They're lacking hope.
And if there's anything we learned in our lives, you are not going to find joy and fulfillment if you hate what you do. So we can change that. We're living in a day and age where you can actually take those steps to change it. And I think what you said was the biggest thing is you can look at this person and go, oh, I should do that. She's having success. But maybe that doesn't align with how you were built, your talents, your gifts, actually what would come natural to you. And so many times we're trying to be like this person, and take advice from too many people.
Yeah,
And
that's the number one sabotager, I think.
that's exactly what we wanted to eliminate for you in this course. When you can take a step back and really take a hard look at what do you want, just like Oprah said, what do you really want? How could you align your life so differently? And can you imagine waking up not stressed? Can you imagine waking up going, I'm excited to do this because this is what I'm naturally good at. This is where I'm going. I have direction. I've learned how to balance, how to set those boundaries, how to do all these things that you're going to learn in this course. And you're going to have a clear direction, because I think so many of us are just waiting. We're at the cusp, but we don't know what next step to take.
So not only are you going to find that direction, but then you are also going to be given the action steps. And that I see often there's parts of this, but not everything altogether. Because once we knew what we wanted, we actually didn't know how to get there.
Yeah.
We were like, we want to do this. We see other people doing this, but there's so many different parts. What's important? What do we spend money on? What do we not spend money on? What do we hire people to do? What do we do ourselves? There's a lot of questions, and having someone, we do some coaching calls in this course as well with you guys, having someone who has nothing invested in you, in your life. They're not your friend, they're not your family telling you what to do, but just looking at you objectively. And really, once we give you the questionnaires and we really figure it out, when you really figure it out, because it's gonna be you that figuring it out, we are gonna help you to know what is your best action take. We're gonna go into finances, we're gonna go into your time, your giftings, what courses you might need to take. If there is some courses you need to take, do I need to take extra learning to get to the goal that I need? All of these questions are going to be answered for you in this course. Some things you want to think about is like, how do I like to show up? Who am I? What do I like? You know, I have to say this again, but you guys are so many people thinking they have to do lives and be the face on social media. That shouldn't be. That's not your gifting, and that's okay. But we need to, again, stop looking at everybody else. Who am I? What's going to bring me joy? Because when God places a gift inside of you, when you're using that gift, that peace that you start to feel and the motivation that you think that you lack because of lack of discipline could be because you're not even working as you. Exactly. You're trying to be somebody else. Because when you're actually doing your passion and you feel that, if you've ever felt that, you feel at home, you feel that you're excited to get up in the morning because you're like, I'm doing my calling here. Like, this is awesome.
And if there's anything we've learned that life is too short not to do this. You are so worth it. And we wish we would have had exactly this course so we could have stopped some of those years of, wondering and trying different things that weren't the right fit. And if this can help you gain clarity and purpose and start your business with a bang, I just don't see how anybody could not take this time to reflect, because I think you're going to hit roadblock after roadblock unless you take this time to do these steps first. So if you can relate to us and where we were at, we want to work with you. We want to help you take you through that next level.
We sure do. So join the course. We can't wait to see you on the other side. There is so much. It is so jam-packed. I'm beyond excited. See you there.